Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Guys, hope you're doing good. This video is gonna be only about the new updates for travel to Bali. There have been a lot of questions I've seen and confusion lately about who can travel to Bali, how you can get here, and what are the updates. Well, first of all, if you are planning to travel to Bali now, it's changed a lot in the last few months. Almost every day or every week, there seems to be new updates by the government on new restrictions or new things that you have to do. As of right now, you still need to quarantine for 8 days if you're traveling from most countries. However, if you're traveling from India, you need to quarantine for 14 days. Now, even if you have dual vaccinations, such as 2 approved vaccination shots and have a negative PCR test, you still have to do the quarantine. It's not an exemption from that. So the requirements for entry, you need the 2 vaccination approved from the Indonesia government, which are most vaccines here. Then you need to quarantine for 8 days if you're from most countries, or if you're from India, you need to quarantine for 14 days. Then you need to make sure you meet all the other entry requirements as well. In addition to these updated requirements, you still have another updated document that you need to get. Now, the first updated document that you need to get if you are applying for a Bali business visa, an Indonesia business visa, e-visa, it basically states that you need to have a background check, a full background check from your country that shows your entire history. Now, you need that document when you apply for the business visa online. Now, in addition to that document, you also need a health certificate. Now, the health certificate, you do need to show your current health status from an approved physician in your area, a doctor basically, and this will show the outline of your health status. And that means if you have any infectious diseases or anything, it just means that you are healthy and you are able to travel to Bali and not transmit any other kind of viruses or diseases. This is another document that they just updated in the last few weeks that you need to have here. Now, in addition to these documents, you also need proof of income. You've always needed this, but just adding this to the list of things that you need to prepare if you're going to travel here and apply for a business visa. You need to have a bank statement that shows you have a minimum amount of so much money going into your bank account and you have a stable funds for your travel here. Also, as of right now, you still do need to quarantine in Jakarta. You can't quarantine in Bali right now because Bali is still closed for the quarantine and the airport for international arrivals. So you do need to fly to Jakarta first, quarantine for the quarantine period there, and you can choose which hotel you want to do. Now, basically, it depends on how much you want to spend. If you want a cheaper hotel, you can choose a budget of roughly $400 to $600 US for a quarantine period of about 8 days, and that includes all your food for the stay and 2 PCR tests. If you want a more luxury accommodation, you can book hotels like the Hilton and several other ones in Jakarta, and basically this is higher end. It's still the same quarantine period and it's still the same 2 PCR tests, but you do get maybe a better room or maybe a big room and access to some more features in your room. It just depends on what your budget is for the quarantine and where you want to stay. In October here, the government is planning on fully reopening tourist visas, so you won't need a business visa to fly here when they open this. Now, as of right now, you still do need the business visa, but as in October, they might change this. Now, basically what this means is that you will be allowed to enter Bali. You still have to meet all of those requirements I listed here before, but you don't have to get an e-visa at that time when they change those rules. So they're planning on quarantine zones here in Bali instead of being stuck in your hotel room. And basically what that means is that when they do start this new phase in the reopening plan, you will be able to fly to Bali, stay in a quarantine zone such as Sanur, Nusa Dua, or Ubud. And once you stay in these quarantine periods, these little areas, these little bubbles, you will be able to go to the cafe, maybe go to the beach. You don't have to stay in your hotel. Now you still have to stay in that area for the duration of your quarantine period, but you will at least be able to go outside and not be stuck in the hotel the entire time, so that when you finish your quarantine period, you'll be able to travel to the rest of the country, to the rest of Bali, wherever your destination is. So a lot of things are changing, and you should really check every day if you're gonna fly here, even before your flight, because some things change the same day. There's been people who have booked hotel quarantines here in certain hotels, and they've been canceled last minute because the government changes the regulations on that hotel is no longer approved for quarantining anymore. So certain things like that, always be checking the news and checking the updates on the latest restrictions here and the latest updates in Bali. But the good news is that things are reopening and that you will be able to travel to Bali here soon. So if you are planning to travel to Bali, you should download the app in the description here. This app basically will have a link to the QR code that you need to show at most restaurants and places to enter. You need this QR code to enter supermarkets, malls, and many restaurants to show that you are vaccinated. And you will need this to enter beaches and other tourist areas as well at some point. And basically what this QR code does, it just tracks the area that you're in and the COVID cases around you. So if someone has COVID, they can track everyone who is in the area so that they can easily stop the spread of the virus. Now, in order to get this app, you can download it on the App Store and you can create an account. But basically, to get the QR code to work, you do need to upload proof of your double vaccination shots to the website, also linked here below. Once you upload that, in around a few days, the government should get back to you and have your QR code activated so that you can use this app to enter these places that you need to have this code. Alongside that, you do need an Ehac as well, and this Ehac is on the same app. You only need this Ehac only when you are first traveling to Bali. So basically, when your flight departs and is arriving in Jakarta, Indonesia, or Bali, Indonesia, when it reopens for quarantine, you will be able to use this app to enter with the QR code. Now, the Ehac system works like this. When you first register for an Ehac, it asks your flight information, where you're traveling to, what your destination is, what kind of visit that you're gonna be here in Bali. And from there, you will have all this information attached to a QR code. Now, you have to show this QR code when you are entering Bali and at the immigration and at the different checkpoints inside the airport. You also still need to keep this QR code, which is the Ehac. When you are traveling from Jakarta to Bali, you need to show that again, and that QR code is your QR code that you will use for the duration of your trip when you are traveling within Indonesia. Hope these updates here helped you with some new information on what you can do if you want to travel to Bali now, and there's going to be a lot of changes here probably within the next few weeks and few months, so things will change. And when those updates do come in, we'll be posting more information about that in our videos, and maybe more videos like this to help you get a clear information on what you need to do to travel to Bali now. So when you are in Bali and you have arrived here, you also do need to follow the local guidelines, and they're very strict about this. Now, there are some people who don't follow these guidelines, and you can get severe tickets, and you can also get deported if you do not follow these guidelines. So I would highly recommend that once you're in Bali to follow these guidelines. Now, these guidelines are, you need to be wearing a mask when you're driving the scooter, and that is very important. You need to have a mask at all times. when you're driving the scooter. Also, a helmet is very important as well. You need to be wearing both a mask and a helmet here to drive the scooter. You also do need to wear the mask at most beaches. For certain parts, it depends really on the area, but definitely when you are entering different areas of Bali, you need to check to see what you need to do there. There also are many stores and supermarkets where you also still need to wear the mask at all times, and that is very important as well. Yeah, so just make sure that you follow these guidelines and you will be fine, but definitely make note of them and make sure you follow them when you get here as well. Now, hopefully, yeah, again, this information helped you, and if you do like this information and it did help you, please go ahead and check out our rest of our videos and check out our channel and subscribe if you like it. We have some new videos that we're posting every single week, so this hopes that helps you find some good information on different places to see in Bali and the new updates that come out here as well. Next time, have a great day or night wherever you are, and talk to you soon. Peace.